Doing some great work towards this site. A FAMAS to a triple kill, Mattis and Nerds. It feels like G2.
UP that they bring forward, all picked up off the bodies of G2 players. Really nice round from Yakinder, and you know, he's been the one, 8-4 for his team. He's the one who almost was able to hold on to the B-bomb site in the previous round. He's showing some real resilience at this B-bomb site, and he's the player most often at the moment stepping up for Furia. A lovely sequence, good spray control with a weaker rifle. One missed shot from Wrinkle, and it all comes crumbling down. 4-2 in the favor of G2. And their last buy before they're forced back onto pistols.
Molodoi. Oh, hits the shot, but it's not enough damage to bring him down. Both competitors dishing out some blows to one another, but for Nerds, he's down on 17. He will still stay committed to his task of just dribbling a smoke out, because the main attack is once again going to the other side of the map at Fallen, who's going to try and delay this. He's only got a FAMAS.
Oh, he busted out a really defensive smoke, thinking they were going to commit to that as well. A lot of defensive utility. Fallen felt like that was the execute, so Molotov is burned, multiple flashes burned, a smoke is burned at the A bomb site.
An extra player pulled over to help the defense, but in fact G2 have so much time they can actually call it off, go elsewhere and set up for what they hope will be a successful B finish to this round. But once again, it is Molodoi and Yakinder here to defend.
Yeah, I think you might need a third player here as well. They haven't shifted anyone over. Nobody's even close. If these two can't hold on to the bomb site, it's a save call surely for Furia.
Well, we've been talking about how good Yakinder has been. Well, he's got Molodoi to back him up, but Yakinder gets nothing this time. And a single kill from Molodoi is certainly not going to be enough. So Furia pulled in the wrong direction. And you'd imagine that save call you mentioned will follow.
I feel like in this map, if you have two B defenders sitting back into the bomb site playing defensively like that without any information elsewhere on the map, they're just screwed. It's just a matter of time. Those executes are just way, way too strong. So G2 gonna build upon it. Extend this lead back out to a 5-2, 3-round lead. But because Fury was able to return the previous round with weaker weapons, they've got another buy coming in, so not out of it just yet.
These Furia have money to fall back on. It's great to see G2 actually showing up in the series though. Very worrying performance on map 1.
Getting some really good calls out of Hunter, some really good movement around the map, doing a really good job of making it tough for Furia to read. Getting some good individual efforts. Heavy God 7-4, Nerds is 6-2. But more than anything, I think, by the nature of how assertively and how convincingly they're taking these bomb sites, they haven't really had to play too many post plants, which was a huge problem in the first map of Ancient. They lost a couple that they should have never lost. But here they haven't really had to go up against those retakes because they're so convincing on that initial destruction of the defense. Timeout comes to a close. Round 8, 5-2 in the favor of G2. And Furia spend all the cash they've got, all up in the hands of Molodoi. Full nades across the board, a pair of kits.
G2 A simple, and what they hope to be effective call directly into this B site all together now towards Molodoi. Yekindar this time again, it's nothing. Molodoi has to multi, and he will. He'll get a second, but not the third. As Nerds just stops him in his tracks. That bomb plant will be coming in soon from G2, but this time Fury have a quicker rotation, and they can go for the round win.
Yeah, and they're actually delaying the bomb plant as well. They can challenge for this round. You have to challenge for this round. 3-on-3. Smokes are still up, so Heavy God is going to move in while that flashbang is live. And here's the retake. It's coming a little early. Wrinkle steps into the fight. He grabs both.
Yeah, that's a big fumble there. Fallen, you can see, was looking away from the utility, looked into the wall, and it looks a little bit silly as Wrinkle comes in for that free kill and feels like he can progress up and take the second.
They wanted to catch him on a timing where they're just planting the bomb, right? Where there's only 2 players able to fight back. Just really good poise from G2, waiting, patiently waiting until they can sense how easy it is to get that bomb planted, and Wrinkle is the one to provide the kills to give him the safety. Now a 4-round lead.
Yeah, as good as Yekindar has been in the early stages of the defense of this B-bomb site, that's 2 rounds in a row now where Molodoi's got his. Yekindar just unable to get something going.
Yeah, they're having a really hard time delivering both of them in the same round, aren't they? It's one or the other. And G2, I think, feels no need to go elsewhere on the map as long as they can batter down this B-bomb site. Fury might want to start maybe considering rotating a 3rd player over earlier. Now this attack happens early in the round, so even that wasn't going to help. But late round, having a 3rd player here, or at least figuring out some way elsewhere to be aggressive to gain an advantage.
Well, the buy is battered and bruised here from Furia. You're going to have a 5-7 for Fallen, cs2 on an MP9. At least the others have their choice of weapon in hand. We're not seeing the cs2 we've seen on map 1. Not really seeing anybody for Furia. Again, starting with 3A. Perhaps they're thinking, Jason, that G2 are expecting them to lean an extra play towards the B site and then would lean on an A play.
Yeah, they might be. That's the mind game of the IGLs, trying to get ahead of the adjustments. Mid-take, though, with numbers. We've seen them do it solo with Nerds here on his own, now bringing an extra body.
Might be the right call, though. They've got 3 players defending here, and we've got G2 starting to make their way towards the A site.
Right, smoke broken open. Nerds just gets into some safety, but information for Yuri. Sees them setting up, poised outside camera. It's Heavy God and Wrinkle that would be tasked with taking A main control.
G2's ability to stay in limbo, though, and decide to go elsewhere has been so impressive throughout this first half.
You're just running out of time for that, right? 40 seconds left on the clock. You have the easy drop down into canals, but they're committed now.
So they're coming at the 3 players that Fury have put on this A site. The decision to stack the bomb site, is it going to pay off? Yuri with 1, but Mattis molds away 2, but that's the bomb going down. Fallen finally getting a kill on this map. And it's a big 1-2. Will it net them around victory? Waiting desperately for his teammates to arrive in the rotation. They're a long way off, and Fallen still going. Another one out of the 5-7, but Yekindar's dead.
The flank. Fallen's trying to stay alive for the flank.
And that's all he's been doing. But finally Fallen is gone. But he set up Molodoi with a chance. A small chance, and Heavy God wasn't looking the right way, but Molodoi announces his presence. And Heavy God has enough time to turn and react for the kill.
Yeah, Molodoi's going for the win right there, right? He wants to jump in and hope he can grab the planter out in the open, maybe delay it, maybe play a one-on-one. Admirable effort out of Fallen, but just way better from Mattis with the entry kills, the openings. And now Hunter's in his element. He's got control of this map, he's got Furia on a string, and now he's playing with timings. They never have any idea what's coming. Completely different G2 squad here on map 2.
Yeah, no money for Furia to bounce back in this round either. Taking a timeout. Trying to figure out, is there anything we could purchase up? And I mean, Fallen, this is a great in-game leader move. Realize he's not having the best game individually. He spent his money on getting a rifle for cs2 to give them somewhat of a chance in a round like this.
It's a classic Fallen thing, IGL thing, but having coached Fallen in the past, has always been his main priorities. He's always has his 1-star player on the team that he just wants to constantly feed rifles to. Constantly give them chances to build themselves into the game.
Well, Nerds Nerds handling Molodoi very easily indeed with the AK. He's going to try to do so again here on Nikindar. Does a lot of damage, not able to get rid of him.
Yeah, Nerds, I think now at this point, ooh, good kill with the grenade, bounces off the wall, but now he's going to want to back off and preserve the AK-47. Let his teammates do the hard work of mopping up these final 3 Furia defenders. Okay, Serrano's hoping that 1 kill might shy them away from the A bomb site. G2's thinking along similar lines because they're readjusting right back towards the bomb site the M4 was at, the strongest weapon that Furia have in play.
Dished out some damage as well to cs2, sitting here on 40 HP. I mean, there's such little chance that he's going to do too much in terms of impacting the round win. But maybe his teammates can get into a good flanking position. Hunter just goes back to check it out for a second.
It has taken quite a long time. They did have to wait for the smoke to fade, but it is giving the opportunity for Fallen to creep closer.
The question is, how much can cs2 do? Out into the open, good amount of damage, but just a single kill, and that doesn't feel like it's going to be enough.
No, not at all. Bomb is going to be planted. Yuri and Fallen both coming on the flank towards A main. One after the other. At this point, I almost feel like maybe grab a gun and just dip.
That'd be easier said than done. Fallen walking into the waiting arms of Wrinkle's AK, and there's the AK picked up by Yuri, so he will slip away. Gets up towards the rugs, and that's the only win you can take out of this round. So 8 to play with for G2, looking like they have a great chance at extending upon the 8 rounds they've already won. You have to say it's been a really strong bounce back from G2.
I almost feel like this AK-47 is more important than grabbing any kills at the end of the day. Fallen with no money because he dropped the Hero M4 over to cs2 is going to need a rifle. This is that rifle. So Yuri not actually peeking for any of these kills he knows are available beneath him. A 6-round deficit for Furia. 2 rounds remain in this first half for them to scrape together whatever they can, but nothing has worked. 4 rounds in a row now for G2's offense. At one point, Furia did stop that momentum, but it's right back under G2's control. And Furia decide perhaps the answer is a double up setup. Fallen has one at the A bomb site. You want to talk about shoring up a defense with an extra player? The second off allows you to move a third M4 to that B bomb site for the entire round.
Gives you a lot of freedom reallocating those resources, and we've got Hunter getting into the smoke here in connector. A quicker play early in the round. Heavy God. Oh, he's just taking Fallen down. Nothing's working for Fallen on this map. That's the A side open. Hunter finding success on Yukindar through the smoke. And nothing working for Furia's defense. G2 with a 2-man advantage. cs2 trying to dig deep.
Finds one, but yeah, who else is going to add into it? Is anyone going to make a play off that? Here's the peak. Yeah, you needed that. Good equalizer from Yuri. All of a sudden, G2's been thinned out. 2 good opening kills, but brought into a 3-on-3.
Now, the whole time, Furia have been worried about the fact that that A site is completely open, so they're now reallocating the rotation back to A. But is that going to be the right call?
I don't know. I think there were 2 different calls. I think G2 had 2 different minds. Someone said, let's go to B through Canal. Someone said, let's go A.
And they're going for the A play. They've committed to the call, and that's exactly where Furia currently have their players. This is what Furia need from a 5v3 to possibly losing this round. Let's see if G2 can get through this. Molodoi waits, AWP strikes, and G2 now realize that they're walking into a setup. They're walking into the sniper. They're trying to get rid of him. They're forcing him away. Wrinkle staying in the fight, trying to move forward, but 10 seconds. You've got to get that bomb down soon. And that flank is now arriving. cs2 trying to win it. Round the back in Wrinkle. He turns, he nails it. Yuri comes in with a headshot of his own. And so it's the new samurai. Let's see how sharp his sword is. 1v2. Can't cut them down. It's Yuri that'll move through with an essential round victory for Furia. Without that, there is no half. But now they've got a chance.
Good triple kill from Yuri. Extended fight over at this A bomb site, right at the tail end of things. Now it's always G2 desperately trying to recover, and they almost do it, but Molodoi adds one on top, makes it real difficult.
Great shots out of Wrinkle, just couldn't combine for the win, and That's a 3v5 that Fury have managed to pull off, and it's the Yuri Serato combo.
Where they've struggled so much to have effective defense, winning that 3v5 is kind of crazy. Let's see if they can grab this last one and carve out just as much chances as they need in the second half. Up for Wrinkle, AK-47s. G2's never had any issue with their investments with their buys this half, this map. And that double up setup again for the CT side, but it's Yakinder through the smoke.
Yeah, opening kill for Furia. They hold it, no trade potential. Heavy Guard steps up next towards A main. Fallen, been waiting all half long for his moment.
Well, Heavy got deleted him in the previous rounds.
2 ops, same position. You don't see this every day. The ops are playing beside each other.
Well, that can be deadly. As long as Molodoi can find a safe place, Fallen needs to hit this shot. Then he can pull him into Molodoi's op.
He's got it. Fallen peels into the corner. Molodoi's up next, and they're walking into a double op setup. Serato now to the backside on the flank. Hunter's ready. Spotting Yakinder. Got both. That's the release valve. Do they run it all the way back to the B site? And with that kill from Matic, you are sure that they have options. They're going to drop into the water. They're going to come, and Yuri's going to hear it. He'll try and block them. Smoke goes down. They're just going to run through, but they know the rifle's waiting. Yuri pauses, tries to stay composed. He's out of bullets. To the Deagle, he shall go. But this round has all been Hunter, and it has to be Hunter. Up to the back, Yuri flashed himself. He's now under pressure. Hunter's got that too. Hunter to do it all.
Oh my God, he's bailing out.
Oh my God, 15 seconds left. This is the call to run it back to A.
I think this works. I think he might just make it in time. Oh, it's so close. Molodoi's not entirely sure, and he is. He's gonna get it. Oh, just perfect. What a read from Hunter, slipped the net, and now Molodoi, a very tough clutch to step into. You've lost information and positioning of your opposition.
G2 look out of this round. Wants the prey. Now Hunter sits with a chance to close it, but the time is ticking and the tension builds as Hunter backs his way into storage. Molodoi has to back himself, gets onto the site, taps that defuse. Hunter, round from heaven, exceptional round out of Hunter. The time is on his side, and Molodoi will get the kill, but there's not enough time to stop that bomb going off, and that is all Hunter to secure the 9th round for G2.
Yeah, beautiful time for the captain to step up. Hunter providing impact, understanding the situation, boxed in, creates the escape route for his team. That is a lovely adjustment when you've been stuffed cold at the bomb site itself. And one more round at the tail end for G2, because why not? 9-3 on the half. G2 playing for that third map, Dust 2 waiting in the wings if they can take us there. And they're poised for it.
That's a devastating round lost right at the end there for Furia. They win that. We're talking 4 rounds pulled out of the first half. Conversation can be had about them feeling good about the second half if they get a good start, win that pistol. Now the second half becomes very difficult indeed for Furia.
See what they can do with it. We saw them flustered and a little bit disorganized in the first half at various moments. G2 put a lot of hurt on them. Fallen and Yuri towards the B bomb site. It's coming quick, but it's just 2 players being committed.
Heavy Guard stays composed, waits down in connector, backtracks into the water, being pushed by 2. Eventually that trade is confirmed.
Yeah, but I mean, this is interesting. G2's all rotated over, but they have no idea what's actually going on. That whole time, that felt like a B hit, like a B rush, like a B attack. It's got him out of position. But Fury don't want to press the envelope in middle. Gonna try and start working their way in through A main, but Nerds is grabbing yet another kill.
Hunting down Serato as well. Got a little bit of cover, resets, has teammates, and it's all Molodoi. He's got Yuri right beside him, but I don't know how they're gonna pull this off. Bomb gets planted, at least confirming extra cash. They're gonna force buy in the next, but to win this round would be such a relief for Furia. Molodoi.
This is a good start. Look at the way
the chase.
Mattis is taken out of the fight and brought down, and nobody's even in the bomb site in return.
Comes down to clean shooting from Yuri. Can he muster anything? Defuse has started. In fact, there's a kit. He's just got it. He's won the round. He got onto the defuse inside of a smoke. And with the kit, it's an easy win.
Yeah, with a teammate as well being a distraction, make sure he commits to a fight so Furia can't possibly aim towards the smoke. G2 a step ahead in every single scenario. This map has been theirs since the start, and they are not going to relinquish it. Lovely shooting from Nerds, and there's that aggressive word again as he continues pushing to clear out the middle of the map. The pieces were there for Furia. The idea was there in that pistol round, but just so disjointed in the finishing move.
I think we're all happy about the idea of getting Dust 2 in this series. It will be the third and final map. Looks like G2 are going to take us that. Will Furia have anything to say about that? It begins now in this round.
3 defenders here for G2. Really tenuous position though for Heavy God. If Mattis goes down, if he has to give up the angle, if it's not smoked, Heavy God just, this position kind of sucks, so he's got to be really careful.
Heavy God sharp on the first, second's good too, bomb spills. And this round not competitive at all. Furia do not break through, it is 11-3. And it's about to be map point for G2.
Who am I to doubt Heavy God? He plays that just goes just perfectly. Lovely first shot, a clean, quick kill, allows him to double up. His teammate Mattis turns towards main, covers him from that point of danger. That's the synergy that we didn't get from the Furia defense at that bomb site either. Round 15, and you're right, 12 is looking extremely likely. Furia do invest a little bit. Tech-9s and Deagles picked up with armor. With a little bit left in the bank for potentially the last round of the map in round 16. Heavy God waiting for any indication of what hit is coming. One player spotted over at the B bomb site. Furia letting G2's defense sweat. Perfect nade onto Yakinder. Here's the hit as they stream in.
Yeah, they stream in, but to the death is Heavy God at the back of the platform. Even with the USP, is using it to devastating effect. In fact, he nearly gets everybody. Yakinder barely hanging in there when the rotation is arriving. A 2v1, and you've got Yakinder on such low HP, but he's got himself into a 1v1 fight. If there's any hope for Furia on this map, Yakinder needs to win this.
Surely the information was called that the bomb was dropped at A main. Nerds surely realizes he doesn't need to move from this position. Yakinder still has to go get the bomb. It's a teammate from Nerds' perspective. 20 seconds.
They go into 1v1 and Nerds is going to come out on top. So there you go. G2 find themselves map point here on the second map of Anubis. And Dust 2 is just a few minutes away.
It's waiting in the wings, waiting for its chance to step into this series. Impressive recovery after map 1 from G2, looking completely different, full of life here on this map. 17 kills on Heavy God leading the way, 11 on Nerds, 10 on the captain of Hunter.
Hunter aggressive. He's backed up by Wrinkle, and it's Hunter that's going to go forward. Head spotted, Molodoy to respond. And Wrinkle trying to catch one through the smoke. He actually will finish off Molodoy. So 4v3 now for G2. One more step in the direction of Dust 2. Not enough done here from Furia. They did not match up to the first map performance. We haven't got the individuals showing up, and we heard Dupree talking about it. This game is so heavily decided by the individual performances, and on this one, it's all G2.
It's no serious indictment of Furia on a grand scale. Both of these first two maps weak in their pool. That's why the conversation was about the risk that they took to take it to this point. Now they won Ancient, but you can see why it makes it so scary to go for this kind of a veto strategy, because they just get deleted off Anubis. Thank God they got that first map, or else this would have been a quick series. Dust 2 is up next between these two teams.
Yeah, the quarterfinals rage on, and so far a good game. Two one-sided maps, so hopefully Dust 2 delivers on all fronts, Jason. It's hard to say who even has an edge at this point.
It really is. I mean, just with the nature of both of these maps and someone coming in and just blowing the other team out of the water, Dust 2 a little bit more in both teams' wheelhouse might give the edge over to Fury. I'm sure the desk is going to be outlining all this for you guys. And speaking of which, they're ready. So Puckett, my man, take it away.
Thank you very much. As we take a look at this one, Yanko, was it economy the difference again, or was it the individual shots like Dupree kind of hinted at coming into this map?
I think the difference was G2 getting their stuff together. Let's put it that way, you know, and showing their usual face in a way, right? They were a lot more patient on that T side. They were in control. We know Anubis is a T-sided map, and they showed us why, right? Like making the map really feel small for Furia. All the decisions they were making in the mid-round didn't work out for them, and it was a 13-3 the other way on Anubis.
I really feel like Nerds had a lot of saying in this specific matchup when it came to the middle area. You know, he was being that distraction that constantly had Furia guessing, keeping them, you know, pulling the rotations back and forth between the bomb sites. And as Yanko just alluded to, like, it's just such a hard map to be going on if you're CT. Like, there's so many things you need to be taken into consideration, and especially when you get hit with this slow kind of pace style where you also sometimes get bombarded with these B hits that G2 really threw at Furia.
There were some incredible plays throughout that one, including Hunter's clutch, but you clipped out round 5. What are we looking at first?
Well, you did mention the economy, and this was a reset round, but this was for me also where I really saw, all right, G2's back in it. So 3-0 up, Furia wins a round. This one is important so their economy doesn't get reset and they get some momentum in the game. So mid-round, slow default from G2, Furia clears mid, K-Serato tucks in close to window, and now you see G2 position for the safe fake, right? This is just to draw rotations from the side of Furia, create space for Nerds. K-Serato doesn't move, but Nerds wins the duel outright, Wrinkle with the support utility, right? And here Fallen gets caught out. So now in a 5v3, G2 actually makes the kind of wrong decision when you look at the minimap. They go where 2 defenders are going to be, but despite that, still managed to do a good job of covering each other. The Nerds arrives at just the right time, so Ikinder cannot deny the plant, and that they don't lose their cool in the 3v2. Hunter is able to take down Yuri, which forces Molodoi to save.
We talked about the IGLs clutching up and able to lead with some frags. Hunter had some big ones in there. Dupree, what did you clip out that from round 8?
Well, round 8 is just like a bit of the contrast to what Yanko just talked about, that as you saw before, like it was all about the defaulting, playing slow, and then this time it's a B-pop, you know, it's a change of pace from G2 where they just throw it at him, and Molodoi even gets the opening frag here, and then you can just tell that Ikinder is flashed out and he has to fight multiple angles. Molodoi even gets a second here, but at this point he can't really pull the trigger fast enough, so he gets taken out with a very fast trade frag by Nerds. And then this is some of the things that I really want to be pointing out with why Wrinkle was put in this squad. I'm just going to showcase like the fact that he goes in front of the smoke, gets a first break onto Fallen, but goes through this smoke to fight CT. It's exactly this type of aggressive play that he was brought into the roster for.
You wanted to see that aggressive play tonight. It paid off there. Does it pay off moving forward into a game 3 on Dust 2?
Well, it kind of has to, right? You know, that's also a map where you can be very aggressive, and you also have to try and find the openings, and this was a good showcase of what Wrinkle brings to the table.
If anyone is excited for Dust 2 and a G2 fan, they're probably excited to see the guy who started popping off in this game. When I first came in, you guys said put a star next to Heavy God's name. What has he shown you in this game number 2, and what are our expectations for Heavy God in particular on Dust 2?
He's just been rock solid for G2, right? Lately, or I mean pretty much ever since he joined. Yeah. And, you know, those are the positions that are not maybe the star rifler, but the guy who's playing lurk on T side, anchor on CT side, right? Like they need to be very competent to make moves on their own, to take initiative, to punish aggressive plays, right? And Heavy God did all of that on Anubis.
And it's all about the responsibility that is also thrown at him. It is roles where you need to be making the right decision and be very good with your communication. And Heavy God has been one of those reasons to why G2 has been looked out for a while, right? He's definitely the player that has been standing out ever since he was picked up.
Some clean trades, and when he needs to, he can get it out himself. Pistol here cleans up 3, and Heavy God celebrates a 13 score as they take map number 2. We take a look at the overall numbers: 18 kills, just 10 deaths, 139 ADR. But the opening KD is what we wanted to highlight. 7-0. The best we saw yesterday, Yanko, was 7-3 out of their 10 fights.
Yeah, that's not too shabby for Heavy God. And, you know, not often that you're going to see him involved in that many openings, but just how the game turned out. And, you know, I'm just hoping for a better game for these fans on Dust 2, right? And this does feel like this series could have been a best of one, right? With these two maps and just how the veto played out, it was very, very strange. And G2 not showing up on the first map, Furia running away with it. So now on Dust 2, you're hoping get to a third map, both teams are settled in, and this is where they're both going to feel a similar level of comfort.
Now we go the distance, right, Dupree?
Yeah, well, we have to. I mean, like, we're going to a third, and I'm curious too the fact that Dust 2. I know that Fury, they picked up a 13-6 win against Nancy when I watched them over the group stage, but I didn't really feel like it was that confident. Their CT side was just not really anything that specifically particularly put together. I think it really looked like a team that still, even though they've said they worked it out, still had a lot of issues. And I hope that if you look on the side of G2 that they can work it out, look back at that game, because there were so many openings, especially when they came to the A-split. So, I mean, like, if G2 have done their homework, I think there's a lot of openings to be found.
Just to remind everybody where we are at in the tournament, we finished our round of 16 previous match. We are now into the quarterfinals. So what does that mean for both of these teams? You win, you're into the semis. You're earning even more club championship points for your teams. And of course, you're getting a step closer to the arena on Sunday. As we take a look at what we have in store for us tomorrow, though, boys, 3 more quarterfinals all here on the main stage. Dupree, which one has you most fired up?
I mean, obviously it has to be. I think actually Mouse as a foot is really good, but you know, Vitality Spirit is also one of those games that you got to be looking out for. The whole Saiwu dunk conversation that we had early on was something that needs to be brought to the table. But regardless of that, you know, the lower side of the bracket is just so top heavy. So it's just incredible to see that all these teams are stacked down there.
We've had a party here in the STC Arena. Thank you for staying late with us. We've got one more map to go. Stay tuned for an interview with a dog. Map 3 after this. Woof woof.
Artem, carry gel, okay, when you come back.
Guys, I'm all in middle, okay?
Guys, I'm taking move too. I have full status, guys. Okay. Perfect.
I'm all in mid.
We have middle.
Nice.
Bomb.
Big guy last. Artem, carry some B shit. Out there.
Nice, sick boys!
I am here with a very special guest. It is the one, the only, most important and stylish member of Furia, Barto. Barto, you've been in Paris for a little while. Oh, you're already active. Okay, Barto, how are you feeling? Okay, so he's complaining he didn't get taken already to see the Eiffel Tower. So you want to go and see the Eiffel Tower? You might need to win the tournament first. Let Daddy do that, and then you can go. Let me ask you that. Do you think Daddy's going to win the tournament? Is Furia and Fallen going to go through and get revenge on Falcons if they meet in the grand final again? Oh, he's looking away because he said there's no way they're not losing. That's the confidence he has in his dad and his dad's team. I completely respect that. All right, Bardo, if they do win, he's going to make a lot of money. What would you do with that money if you could buy all the things you wanted? Anything you want, bro. He wants a bigger bed and a bigger bedroom than mum and dad have to himself with lots of treats. Okay, that's a good way of doing it. I really like that a lot. Well, Bardo, I know you're a very important person. You got plenty to do. I'll let you go. Any last words for the fans? No words to the fans, just a beautiful face. Oh, Bardo.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Bardo. Thank you very much.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
My first LAN event against like the absolute best teams. DreamHack Vegas 2017. I was on Misfits. Played against Fnatic and VP at the time. The Swedish lineup and the full Polish lineup. I remember it was my first time seeing Fnatic like on LAN, and I was like big Olaf Meister fanboy. Big Olaf fanboy. And NIP was also there. I saw Forrest. I was playing with his mousepad at the time. I remember I was nervous to ask him to maybe sign my mousepad.
So I played my very first LAN event. It was a local Finnish LAN held by a high school. Best thing was that I got to see how it was to compete. You know, I was there with my friends and we joined some local tournaments there. We played, I believe, Counter-Strike 1.6. But, you know, just to see there was some teams coming there who were way better than us. Obviously, I was just kind of starting to get this experience on what it was to compete.
It was the Gamer Assembly in 2016, I think. I was like 14 years old. And it was with a French team. Like it was a huge LAN before in France. It was like where you get to start your career in France. My best memories from the first LAN, we were like kids basically, like just enjoying CS, but like we made it through the group stage, and it was like insane for us. And the fun fact is that my analyst right now is my ex-teammate from my first team ever. So
my first LAN event was Copenhagen Games in 2018. I have many good experience and memories from the event, but one of them was for sure that I was living at home at the time, and I think one of our games ended at around 4 a.m. and we had to play again at 10. And I was driving home, so I was probably home at 4:30 or something like this. And I remember going in and waking my mom up and said, "Mom, we made it to the next day," because I was so happy. And then she was like, "When are you playing?" And I said, "Like in 5 hours or something." She said, "You should probably go get some sleep," but it was literally impossible because so much adrenaline was pumping through my body because I was not used to playing and being happy on LAN and these things. So this memory is for sure a fun one of mine.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
Would you rather play with teammates that say nothing but have great aim, or play with teammates that have poor aim but have great info?
No comms and good aim.
Speaking of no comms, good aim, we've got the opposite here. I'm playing with you.
That was good. Great aim. I mean, I'm an IGL. Maybe I can communicate enough to make up for it. Great aim.
You don't care if they talk?
Yeah.
If I play with, let's say, Doki with Jabby or Goodies here, you know, we'll play and we can hopefully shoot, you know. Then if they just communicate good and they kind of follow our plans well, I think it's fine.
Communication.
Good communication.
And better aim, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. What about you?
Yeah, I would choose the same. I think you can win the game when you have the good comms, you know, but if you have only aim, yeah, it's hard.
Great info so I can get the kills.
See, that's a man of culture right there.
Yes.
I like that.
Good aim, but saying nothing. The teammates who don't say anything and they have great aim.
Everyone's saying that. I feel like that would be so annoying if like they don't communicate, but I guess if they kill 2 or 3 people every... Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, same. I think same. We just join server, we kill them fast and we go.
That they can speak.
Yeah, good comms. Priority number 1, good comms.
Yeah, because they can practice shooting.
It doesn't matter, but at least IGL will speak. If you have like 4 others that can shoot, it's GG, bro.
Imagine IGL playing on A and no one speaking on B.
That would be hard.
Killing on B, or killing on...
Yeah, they've got great aim.
Yeah, but they cannot kill 24/7.
At the very end, who shoots harder wins.
I mean, I think that's valid.
Let's say Robin is quiet, but he's in a position to be quiet as well. So sometimes you don't need a guy communicating so much from those positions.
As long as he's getting the kills.
Yeah, and his aim is pretty good.
So it's the answer is it depends. Okay.
our players started out as underdogs. The young Mongolian squad is rewriting esports history.
They're up in the series. Mongols close to throwing another knockout blow. 2 kills away.
He thinks he can come in here and play my game. He knows nothing. Let's go!
Tyler 1, you're done.
This is my ladder. You can't climb it.
It's better than being hard stuck at Masters.
You're going too far now. Your eyes buggy. Your elbows ashy.
That airline? That's an L airline.
Somebody better hold me.
Okay, yeah. Do something then.
You look nervous.
You look short.
Everything's good?
Mm-hmm.
Fight. Okay. Do you really need the wraps?
Yeah, it feels like overkill to me.
Everyone is playing, you're not yet. EWC Play is your all-in-one platform to compete in fantasy, pick'em, and quests for a grand total of $300,000 in prize pool. Build your dream fantasy team in 5 different games and track your score with live results tables. Predict the winner of every game, every group stage, and every tournament. Complete daily and weekly challenges to earn boosters that help you climb the global leaderboard. Got what it takes? Join EWC Play now.
Goes back towards the deep bomb side and allows Flammers to activate with the double Radas forward mode down immediately.
Threes want one of these in the spam comes up. He knows Azulu's feeling the pressure. Donk.
The first of our quarterfinals here at Counter-Strike Esports World Cup require all 3 maps. 2 blowouts back-to-back, but hopefully Dust 2 is going to be a very different story.
Should be as well. Should be more of a brawl, more of a fight between these 2 teams. A little bit more middling on both their map pools, so they've got more experience, more reps on it. And we'll see how they bring into play. But the main topic has been just, you know, you mentioned one-sided. It's not even because of the maps necessarily. One team just doesn't show up. The other team shows up in the next map. So it's a weird situation now coming into this third one, where teams have just been so absent or so on point. So the question becomes who gets that hot start and who can have the first bite at taking a significant chunk off the scoreboard when this gets going.
Well, Dupree at the start of the day mentioned individuals, so let's take a little count and look back on who has popped off so far in this series. Opening map for Furia was obviously cs2 as the standout player. For me, second map, I really enjoyed watching Hunter. I think called a great game, not only that, but also had some of the most impact.
Yeah, Heavy God had the frags at 18 kills, but Hunter certainly called just a disgusting T-sided game, working Furia back and forth across the map, and then you also had a very clutch and impactful performance in bailing them out of a 2v4. We'll see how it all plays out here on Dust 2. Deciding map is going live. Winner moves on to the semifinals here at the Esports World Cup. Furia starting on the T side and moving 4 players into upper tunnels. Looking like a direct hit towards the B bomb site. A little head fake towards mid has pulled Nerds out of position.
Well, a quiet build-up to what is obviously going to be a B hit. And only 1 player here defending for G2.
Furia has everything they want. Defense has been pulled out of the bomb site. Everyone's going to have to play retake. You're going to have a chance to get in. That smoke's taking its time. Good thing Molodoi gets the kill.
cs2 gets only 1. Good trade from Hunter. At least keeps this round within the question for G2, but it's not looking 100% likely. We've got Heavy Car coming out close to that double door.
There's no kit, and there's just the 1 smoke on Hunter, who's at just below half HP. I guess your only option is to maybe bounce the smoke off the double doors to make it deep to give yourself some space to enter, but Hunter's already backing off like there's no point in even going for it. Wanting to save the armor, save the smoke, the piece of utility for the next round. So Furia will open up Dust 2, this third map, with a pistol victory with the lead.
Molodoi steals away 1. Heavy guard. Catch him as they try and leave towards the tunnels. Not going to work out for him as Furia will sprint away, and that is going to be the pistol round. going away at the T side. So, I mean, for Furia, you're the team that was just banged out 13-3 most recently. You want to make sure you come in with some positive spin on things.
I think it's going to be a pretty easy one to put that map at the back of their minds going out between maps, not just because of the one-sided scoreline, but also because it's just a map they know they haven't really gotten their pool yet. So easy to kind of just forget that that occurred.
And also, it helps that you have a 13-3 win under your belt as well in this series.
Second round bye for Furia and for G2. MP9's picked up 5-7s. A little bit of utility on this CT side. Going to deploy these smokes. Aggression in towards tunnels. Yuri senses it and backs out into safety. And Furia happy to play this patient. Play this opening of the round slow. Knowing the second round bye, seeing all this utility dumped early by the G2 defense, they know again, late round advantages will be in their favor.
Going to see this crunch of Furia players coming into the tunnels to try and clear it at the same time. Bad time to have a cough, Mattis. Oh, that is a devastating timing. Fawn and Kesserado come into the tunnels.
Wait, did he really cough?
Yeah, he coughed, took his hand off the mouse, and then the push comes in.
Well, that's unfortunate. Really unlucky in that position. Here we go.
Choked.
There's that deep smoke to create a little bit of space, a little avenue around the smoke on the left side, but with an MP9, Hunter can't be too aggressive by it. So Furia find themselves into the bomb site, 4-on-3. And I think G2 once again going to have to back away from this and just try and use these weapons in the next round.
Matt is still shaking his head. Boy, his own body betrays him in this one. And that's going to end up being a second round in a row here for Furia.
Good look so far. Outside of the one map, we know Furia really doesn't touch a whole lot. Been playing well. It's got to be, you know, this is a nice performance to have if you're Furia, if you make it into the semifinal at this stage of the season. They have like an oddly tricky season coming up in my mind, I think, because of the impending retirement of Fallen and how the team is going to change after that. Are you just replacing Fallen? Are more people going to be taken off? It seems like down the stretch, Furia has a lot of things on their mind with the impending roster changes coming. So I think a nice deep run early on in this second season can do a lot to kind of shore you up with some of the difficulties and distractions that will be here when the second major of the year rolls around.
Furia's fan base following them no matter where they are in the world. They want to have someone to support over the next couple of days. Furia need to pull off this quarterfinal win. Hunter straight into the lower tunnels. Knowing the Fallen's right beside him. It's going to come through with a kill. Looking for a second, but Yuri responds. He's ready for the next fight as well. That could have caught him off guard, but Yuri is very quick to adjust his crosshair.
Yeah, that's a really nice shot. Good aim. Nice adjustment. As he comes swinging wide, Nerds is going to push forward towards T-Spawn to try and maybe lose himself on the map. For a backstab, it's a long route to go, but Furia has been taking their time in these rounds, especially against the low buy, so might be an opportunity later on. 4-on-3. And unfortunately, I actually, now that he's kind of parked himself, I don't know if Nerds, if they want to actually try and win this round, I don't know if you can. You need that MP9 to get involved in the action. Regardless, Mattis surely is going to go down. 3-0 for Furia moving into the gun rounds. Look at how, I mean, just not trying to take anything for granted, right? Like knowing they have a 4-on-2, knowing it's against a weaker buy, they could be like escalating, they could be picking up the pace, they could just be kind of running around, and they're saying we're not going to let anything, we're not going to give any percentage chance to something stupid happening that ruins this. Bomb planted, Nerds will back away with his armor.
Slow start from G2. Didn't see them recover that slow start on Ancient. I imagine it's going to be a different story here on the CT side. And Wrinkle will get his AWP out soon as well. Good to see what he can do. You know, Dust 2, we always talk about it, the impact that AWPers can have on this very map. You're on the CT side as well, an important quarterfinal game. You're just new in the G2 jersey. You gotta have a feeling like this is your time to shine. This is your time to prove yourself.
Absolutely. And we'll see how that AWP, we know how influential it can be here on Dust 2. Well, the winner of this moves on to the semi-finals. They slide into that slot and then await the winner of Foot versus Mouse.
Gotta say, I said at the start of the game today, I do feel like if you're a G2 or Furia, you've got a feeling, and that you're gonna have a chance to beat whoever makes it into that semi-final, right?
Oh yeah, all three of those teams, I think G2, Furia, Mouse probably all feel very similarly. Okay, we got a B-rush to open up the gun rounds. It's coming in quick. Furia, they want to set the tone early, and they might just do it.
Whoa, Nerds and Heavy God looking to try and combine and put some stopping power in, but they can't because cs2 and Yikindo are the battering rams that break through B and force the save call for G2.
Oh, it's such a bummer as well. You want this to be a grinded out round where we can really get to see the idea of the defense play up against the offense, but just a quick rush into the B bomb site. Nerds and Heavy God not prepared, not ready for it whatsoever. Both of them blinded by phenomenal utility. And you just get a real quick, cheesy round on the board. 4-0 for Furia.
It was such a terrible feeling when you've waited so long to get your first buy round and you lose that quickly. You know, you get that bursting play that comes out of the tunnels and you know you have no other option. You have to sit and commit to the 45-second save. You know, it's a terrible situation to find yourselves in.
You know, I'm really kind of surprised. I know the win was super clean and it's still early on in the half. I am a little bit surprised Fury wasn't more aggressive on the hunt to take some of those weapons away, right? You have all 5 players alive. They're the full bomb timer. You know they're saving right out of the gate. Sure, they're going to be entrenched out towards long, which can be difficult, but you send some numbers at that with utility and take those guns away. But Furia clearly not wanting to risk their own economy, so letting G2 stew in it. 0-4 as the first timeout comes in from Saw. And the only thing on his mind right now is, let's not allow this to look like Ancient. Let's not allow this to slip away to the point where my boys can't get back into it while they're mentally checked out. So trying to put a stop to the bleeding early as they replenish 2 rifles and come back into the fight. And G2 still sitting pretty healthy in terms of their economy as well after this investment in this round 5. So for Furia, no easy rounds coming up anytime soon. G2 is going to be able to muster up buy rounds for quite some time.
You got Yikindo already sprinting out to the long corner. You know, when Furia are playing with some momentum, Yikindo is the player to watch at the front of these attacks. We've got Wrinkle who's pushed up in the lower tunnels. We've got Molodoi just above him. Molodoi doesn't have the AWP in his hands this time, though. It is just the AK. As Nerds, look at this push all the way towards top middle.
Yeah, they missed it. Fallen might find it. He's looking. Oh, gets the dink, gets the win as well. Oh, Nerds going to be frustrated. Can't complete the kill.
Yeah, that's an unlikely win there from Fallen, but he's going to be so happy he pulled it off. Look at this from cs2. All the way into the B site, telling his teammates, there's no one here, guys. There's absolutely no one at home, and I've just spotted 2 players in CT spawn.
Yeah, and there's still Molodoi in the tunnels as well to kind of provide assistance to help the bomb rotating over get in safely. But Wrinkle's AWP is in lower, and man, I think G2 is going to save. You can't do anything from this position. You have 3 defenders at the A bomb site itself. The closest guy is Wrinkle with the AWP, and there's nothing. That weapon is so unwieldy to try and get a foothold for a retake, and it just seems like another extremely easy round for Furia. And on top of all of that, Yikindo is still out at long, waiting to punish anyone who comes here to save.
They're being completely outplayed right now, G2. Every single turn, Furia already there. And Yikindo, he senses this. He senses his chance, takes his time to line up the shots, not able to connect them. He might have just missed his window of opportunity to really punish them.
Yeah, but I feel like Furia is still missing a window of opportunity to take some more of these weapons away. They've been just so content getting into the bomb site, planting it, winning the round, moving on. I'm sure that sounds great, but look at the money on the G2 side of things.
You're letting them stay in it with buys, but
they're actually building cash through these losses because they only lost 2 players the first time. Now they've only lost 1, so they're actually building money. So yeah, you're getting rounds on the board, but if G2 ever get a stop, right, they're right there ready to build up momentum. They already have their economy grown.
But that's the question, is are G2 going to get that stop? Are they going to actually get on the board here? Because right now they're getting completely manhandled right now by Furia. Doesn't feel like G2 are even in the server.
Yeah, certainly with 2 rounds you haven't even been able to go for. Already 5 rounds deep, we've had like 3 very long extended saves and rounds that are just impossible for G2 to win.
Molodoi has taken the opening kill towards B again. It's Heavy God dead. Starting to scale up long here, Furia. Challenging, but with 3 G2 players trying to take down this long offensive.
That's the first time we've seen G2 really put a stop to that kind of a play from Furia and Yakinder. He was trying to kind of take some liberties, right? The little peek, he thought they'd maybe sink back and be safe inside the bomb site. He could creep up close and be tricky. But finally they put a stop to it. Let him know he won't have free reign across the map to make whatever play he wants. So we go back to the mid control that Furia has. And the next player to move is cs2. Showing short presence in cat control. But G2 have rotated away from middle, away from the B bomb site. So a mid to B split is wide open, could be very effective for Furia.
Coming through the smoke, it's Nerds with 1. Great trade again from Molodoi.
And again, because they got the pick earlier, Molodoi got the kill on Heavy God, they say, we're just going to test this.
Ooh, Yuri tucks himself in. He's gonna let cs2 take the first contact, and they do not think that Yuri's in that spot. Good response, though, from G2. And it puts cs2 in a 1v2, and the bomb is down inside of that site. Only 15 seconds left. cs2 has to journey into the danger zone, into the open. And it's just no time for this for cs2. He has to win an elimination, and Wrinkle will deny even that. So, comes through with a headshot. Finally, G2 get a round win.
Yeah, I thought G2 was I thought Furia was in a winning position there. I don't know why the bomb didn't get planted, but the player inside the bomb site wanted to fight with his players over in CT spawn. That's a good opening kill. A better rebuttal from G2 to slow down the long play, but now you're in. And this bomb just never gets planted for whatever reason. And here's that eventuality for G2. They get their first round on the board. They got plenty of cash in the bank. Furia gonna try another knockout blow, another B rush.
Here they go, just swinging in, trying to attack. Heavy God's had such a tough time so far. Wrinkle trying to help him. Good wallbang headshot, but not enough from Heavy God. In fact, nothing. As Furia once again get into the B bomb site.
He did everything he could, even blinding himself as he moves in. Nerds making a play, shut down. G2 starting to feel desperate. Getting run ragged on this map.
Just throwing so much pressure on the B defenders here, Furia. Unrelenting as they charge into the B bomb site. It forces G2 into that old familiar position of having to save without really having a shot at the round win.
The nature of the way they're losing these rounds is heartbreaking. It's crazy. Not even a fight. Wrinkle grabs one on the exit. Bomb's gonna go off. Everyone trying to evacuate. Skeet shooting for Wrinkle. He's got 2 at the tail end, but a 5-round lead for Furia.
I'm not gonna worry too much about the money when you're 6-1 up already.
That's the other side of it. It's like, I mean, Wrinkle's got $12,000 down 1-6. That's kind of crazy. They've just saved so many rounds. Furia on some levels just like, whatever, we're still winning them. And I guess the money doesn't matter if you rebuy weapons that you're never going to put into play.
Yeah, it's on you to stop this B play. It's on you to stop these rounds from being so decisive. Giving the fans something to celebrate. Hydration perhaps the issue here for G2. So Wrinkle chugging down and trying to get through this timeout.
Yeah, I mean, you'll try anything at this point. Trying to get yourselves back in action.
I mean, Heavy God has got to feel some of the pressure on his shoulders, but it's a player that can turn things around. We've seen it before.
I think the problem right now is just that, I mean, again, you talk about the pre-mentioning the individuals. That's what this series is going to be all about, is whose individuals play better. Well, here, starting in the third map, the first 7 rounds of play, 0 kills on Heavy God and Mattis, 1 on Nerds, 3 on Hunter. Wrinkle's the only one putting some volume into it. It's 9 kills for the Opper, but Not the kind of impact to win you enough rounds to be happy with this. And now Furia changing things up again. Not a rush, but a death ball towards short. They'll play the trade game, and it's Wrinkle at the point of attack.
At the ready, scope in. And the peek from Yukindar is up first. He's actually going to stick around, feeling desperate, feeling like he has to be the player to deliver some heavy impact here for G2. He gets away with it, he's able to drop down, and now the softening of their opponents with the utility. But Yuri and cs2 stick to the plan. They stick to the round win, but Wrinkle finally traded out, and it's going to be Molodoi left alone. A 1v2. This is his territory, though. He's comfortable in the clutch. He knows he can back his aim. He knows he can back his skill set to win these situations. If G2 concede this, the pressure will continue to pile on.
I think he needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I think he needs to clean one out before he can sit back.
And he's going to start moving forward. He is looking for that play. Molodoi has a good read for this. Flash as he goes back into the sight. A disappearing act from the magnificent Molodoi. But again, it is looking to be magic from his sniper. Just can't get it. Heavy God, what a time to show up with your first kill of the map. Denying Molodoi a clutch and keeping G2's hopes alive in this first half.
Man, Molodoi set that up 3 steps in advance with those smokes inside the bomb site, knowing eventually he'd likely want to play around it. Really cool look for him. But even better patience from Heavy God as he gets deep enough around the smoke to where Molodoi will never find him. And the fade just reveals too much of the map, too much field of view for Molodoi to handle. Well, 2 rounds punctuated for G2. Haven't been able to string them together.
It cannot be sporadic round wins here for G2. Have to try and piece it together back to back here. Furia avoiding hitting B early on, but the bomb is in the tunnel, so you do have the option to drop down into that B split if you want.
With the back and forth nature of the last 3 rounds, Furia's economy is starting to get ground down into dust. Important junction in this game for G2. This is where they can actually come right back and look to tie this scoreline up before halftime, take the money away, the weapons away.
Wrinkle steps out, actually gleams quite a bit of information. No one's there from Furia. They're dropping into what is going to be the B split.
And this makes sense. Remember, they've been able to take the B bomb site pretty much at will when they've attacked into it. So now that you've encountered some resistance and G2's defense has stopped you at A, go test this side of the bomb, this side of the map again.
How much pressure is released from Heavy God now that he's got his first kill? We'll find out because he's under pressure again. Spraying away, can't get anything. Again, it is Furia with sheer dominance in attacking this B bomb site. They can't stop them. Another round victory at this side of the map, and that is 7-2 now for Furia.
No one even landed a shot from G2. Smoke breaks open, really quick reaction from Furia, spinning to handle Hunter. Puts Heavy God and Nerds in a very weird situation. They don't know where they're supposed to look. They don't know where the hit's coming in from next. And I think now you could see Furia starting to move around the map late in the half, saying this is the time we hunt. This is the time we punish your economy, take everything away and give you no chance of coming back.
Just Mattis, last remaining member of Molodoi with no mercy.
This is clinical from Furia. Surgical the way they are picking G2 apart.
This is the kill as well that starts things off to a CT spawn, the turn from falling. Both B defenders and able to find a setup that works for them, and just impossible to stop them.
And again, I feel like I just have to remind you that there's been so much money for G2 with the way that this half has played out. These aren't like eco rounds they're losing, USP rounds, they're losing buy rounds. Each and every time they're having the resources, they're having the AWP, the utility, all the M4s, and they still can't get anything done.
Well, that money is no longer in that comfortable situation. Heavy God finally with some stopping power towards this B site. Feels like they've just been able to run in there at will and just take that kill on Heavy God.
Well, I think it shows you the faith that G2 has in him because he was the only defender inside the bomb site. Wrinkle didn't budge over in middle. They wanted to have a 3-man opening at A. So putting full trust in Heavy God, despite the fact it's been a very slow map for him. 2 kills, that being his second.
Wrinkle. Let's see your reactions. Flash comes in. He's not able to connect the shot. So we'll put G2 2 players up in the round. Still feeling rather comfortable. 50 seconds on the clock, and Nerds will start to move towards the short execution. Drops down. Yuri has just taken a hunter. More pressure on Nerds. He has to deliver something. He's got nothing. Again, G2's defense just brittle. It breaks as soon as there's any pressure from Furia. And Mattis has to cower in the corner because his teammates are all gone.
I think brittle is the best description you can have for it, because it feels like they should have some strength. It feels like they have players in positions that have some resistance and put a stop to it. But as soon as they meet, it's just not the case. It just falls apart. It's crazy the way this is happening. Individually, G2 players have just fallen off a cliff. It's all Furia yet again. 8-2, now a 6-round lead. Losing like this sucks, it hurts. There's nothing more painful, but getting eliminated like this, it's just depressing.
It's just feeling like you're not in the fight at all. Could be a bad day at the office, could be fundamentally just breaking down, but something is going incredibly wrong for G2, and Furia are capitalizing on it.
4 versus 5 conversion without dropping anyone from there. Flawless. Round after round, there's only 2 remaining. And G2 still searching for their game. It's somewhere on the map here in Dust 2.
It's funny, coming into EWC, Furia, most recent major runners-up in Cologne, and no one's really talking about Furia as one of the top dogs of this event. I think a lot of that is the fact that their bracket in the playoffs at the Cologne Major was the easier side. You could say it's the same here, but they are wanting to get to that final, get through a more difficult opponent in G2. But if you do it in this fashion, you have to just beat the teams in front of you, and you're dismantling them.
Well, over towards middle. Wrinkle's going to come in late. They have the angle, swings wide. Yakindo takes one down. The A defender's occupied for the moment. Clear line of sight. He wants to fight.
Good shot from Molotov to respond to Mattis. Here's a push through from Nerd's side of the smoke. Missed chance. Nothing can be going right here for G2. Hunter at least getting something out of the long attack.
Molotov's got to smoke, so he's got to make his way up short to kind of help for this cross, because Yuri's only got the Molotov. So right now, Molotov just making sure nobody's holding him.
Yeah, so smoke comes in now. He'll drop that forward. Trying to assist with a flashbang as well, just to try and get his teammates safely across this smoke. And Yuri's gonna get tagged here. Headshot through. Heavy head full of lead as Heavy God sends one shot forward. Now Molotov, a clutch. He was close to winning one earlier, couldn't quite pull it off. Now time, a limiting factor as well. He'll commit to the plant. Quick wrap around long from Heavy God. Nerds trying to keep him busy, trying to keep him pinned. Molotov still looks at short. He gets out, he has the info, but now can he get the clutch? One deep breath, one reposition. Heavy God trying to stop him again. It's a replay. In the city where all pros used to use the magic stick, we'll see if it's Molotov, the magic man, holding for his moment. Heavy God's disappeared for now. And Molotow's not looking the right way. Heavy God's over the top. And he's got the headshot again. Heavy God down to that defuse, limited time, but he pulls it off. A 3rd round and denies Molotov yet again in the clutch.
Yeah, brilliant shot from Molotov. Brilliant little movement and jiggle to make that awkward for Nerds, but Heavy God schools him back-to-back 1v1s. Same situation, same bomb site. Heavy God's coming out on top twice. Molotov never considered anything but the railing. And Heavy God just jumping over the top gets a freebie. Timeout taken from Furia.
If you think about it, 2 of the rounds that have come G2's way out of the 3 they have total are off the back of a 1v1 between Heavy God and Molotov in pretty much the same round.
I might just have a wild round swing score with just 4 kills. High fives down the line. Hunter trying to keep everyone locked in, focused. motivated. Heavy God keeping some life in this team with these clutch wins. Looking to claw a 4th round before they switch sides. And look over at Furia. 3 AWPs just for the start, just for the cross. They just want to grab a pick.
And Yuri's got that pick. I mean, you have to get one. If you have that many ops, you've got to hit one of them. Advantage Furia. In search of 9 T-round wins on Dust 2.
And that'll spread the defense out, so not a bad idea if you're Furia off that kill. Apply some pressure to the A bomb site. You know the defense is already going to be weakened. If you apply pressure early, make this defense start to panic and move with a man disadvantage, you'll open up some opportunities late.
They group for the long hit this time. It is quiet because Yukindar walking out and not being detected.
And here's an entire half of getting abused over at that B bomb site if you're G2, as you've slid 3 players over for the defense. Now, at least you're pushing to get the information, but it's going to be way too late.
It's painful to watch knowing how hard G2 have been outplayed. Yukindar just walks forward, Wrinkle taken down with ease, completely confused as to why he's being shot away from long, and that's the site completely under wraps. Last round of the half, G2 can't save this one. They have to give it a go, but it's so unlikely. Look how far away they are. Heavy God is in T-spawn.
Yeah, this ain't gonna happen, obviously. 9-3, the exclamation point on a dominant half. Furia really have encountered no issues, walking into bomb sites time and time again without any problems, without any fight back from G2.
Heavy God, 1 versus 5, steps up and dies to Yukindar's hand. 5 players stay alive in the final round of the first half, and we've got Furia leading the way, 9-3. Every single map has ended 13-3 so far. Is this going to be the same? It feels like it.
Let's check out that pistol round. This performance out of Furia has got the Furia fans on their feet, jumping up and down, cheering jubilation in the crowd as they look to reach the semifinals. G2's got to be shocked and stunned. Very short amount of time in this halftime break to try and get it back, to try and infuse any belief down the line across the team. You can see the shake in your head if you're Mattis. They can tell it's not their day. A comeback required out of Hunter and G2. 6 rounds back as we start this second half. Furia is 4 rounds away from the semifinals at the Esports World Cup.
Molodoi running up middle. Looking to bring this pistol heat. You've got Yukindar right beside you. Master of aggression. Molodoi grabs that first headshot.
They're just so willing to fight. Why not push to the top? Now you can double up on this fight towards lower and you retreat. Timing on this a little bit scary for Molodoi, stuck behind the box, now gets into some safety, but Yukindar takes a gush for his troubles for sticking around too long.
And whatever plan you had, if you're G2, you don't get to play that the way you would have intended with that aggressive play up middle and the fact that you've conceded a player.
Especially with someone like Hunter out of the fight. Hunter, I feel like, is the one I see most often kind of tasked in situations or willing to take the mantle of that entry fragger, creating the space for people following up behind him.
No, Heavy God is going to go back to long. One player just walking forward. It's Yukindar, who's been on a journey all across the map in this round. Second headshot coming through here for Furia. Under a minute left. Kesserado waits a goose. His teammate pulling the distraction. Kesserado not pulling any punches. Wrinkles left, knocked down, and again, not a single player dying here for Furia.
Yeah, this one, it might just be done after that. G2, they've never found anything on this map. Such a strong win on Anubis, but they could not carry it forward. I mean, it just all goes wrong. As soon as Heavy God kind of pre-aims to turn the corner in towards the double doors, in towards cave, is when Yukindar moves out. So just the timing, just the counter-strike gods even against G2 today.
Well, quick pop of the G2 players to try and come out of long. Fall is blinded and it still gets one. Mattis finally getting rid of him on the P250.
Surprised Kinder wants to stick around, but he's got all the confidence in the world with the half he's had. They believe he's fallen back. He steps up to grab a freebie against the scout now, and another.
He knows what the fights are, Jason. He wants every single one of them down the stretch.
I think he can feel it too. If he just keeps up like this, if he just keeps his foot on their necks, there's no way G2 can actually stand up in this map.
Nerds and Hunter, an impossible task now. 2v4, separated from one another, and absolutely no foothold on the map. Molodoi has his rifle out at the right time. Nerds, the quietest performer on his team, walking his way up short.
Well, if you're G2, this is going to have to be something you learn from. Heard all the conversations coming out of the camp about wanting to increase the aggression, swapping out Sun Pius for Wrinkle. Saw said a number of times he's looking down the line. He's telling each and every player to find some aspect of their game where they can put more aggression into it. He's mentioned with Wrinkle specifically, he's going to be a project. It's going to take some time. He knows there's going to be some inconsistencies here and there. But G2 looking to improve off the back of losses like this that they can learn from. They can pick it apart and see exactly what they've done wrong.
I think for G2, it's always a similar story. Their ceiling is really high and they can have some incredible games at these events, but there was a certain point where they do hit their limit and they do just get blown out.
Well, that was Cologne. That was the Cologne major, I saw it said. And that was the entire point for that kind of change of the roster, saying we kind of discovered what our ceiling was. We had the conversation, can this lineup get better? Conclusion was no. So bring in Wrinkle, take a swing, see if you can develop him into something that increases the ceiling of this squad. Not seeing it here today, unfortunately. Time will tell as Saw gets more time.
And Furia are going to have more time in this competition. Going to be favorites to make it to the grand final.
This round could slip away. Furia's got to be a little bit careful. Look at the HP. Everyone's a bit busted up.
Well, true. It can unravel. But there's a flank coming in. Maybe Kindar can be the insurance policy for the round win because they have to come back and get that bomb that's currently just outside of the longhouse. Now, cs2 has been picked apart. Frustrated about it, but Molodoi's got a free kill. He's going to hold the trigger. Then he takes it as that flank comes in from Yekindar. Series points here for Furia. Looking at the semi-finals to be the first semi-finalist here at the Counter-Strike Esports World Cup.
And just by the nature of the scoreline, there's been no real significant buy from G2 in terms of their AK-47s. The second half has been Tech 9 scouts. Look at the strongest investment they've had, or they'll get, with these Galils here in round 16.
And everybody in the arena with the Brazilian flag is just waiting for the moment they can finally celebrate. Furia moving into the semis. Opening kill for Molodoi onto Wrinkle. That is likely Wrinkle's campaign at the Esports World Cup over. He'll sit and watch the remaining 4 screens around him. They try to scramble together to prolong play for at least one more round, but Molodoi doesn't take the shot. He'll fall away up through short, and Hunter's actually going to chase him. Chase him to his death, though.
Yeah, he's happy about that one. He'll take it. Hunter streaming around the corner, nobody there to follow him up with. G2 all out of sorts. Impressive win for Furia. I mentioned this was so cool to watch tactically on this third map, especially here on Dust 2. Furia just picked G2 apart. Probably the best I've seen Furia play in quite some time.
Oh, and it's really exciting to see Molodoi in this form because at the start of the year, we see Molodoi drop off. He wasn't able to continue his 2025 form into 2026, but a major final at the end of the first season and now starting strong here. Furia mere seconds away from the semi-finals at the Esports World Cup if they can hold on to this B site, and they're not holding on because Nerds and Heavy God have shown up with a little bit of life.
Yeah, there we go. Good shooting from Heavy God with that deagle jumping up on the box. 3-on-3 retake. Furia's coming for this all day long. cs2 inside the smoke.
Flashes over, pushing in, completely blinded, but not capitalizing on their chance. Molodoi's had a couple of 1v2 opportunities. Heavy God has stopped him in every single one of them. Well, let's see if he can close it out. It would all be worth it if he wins this one. gives it a go. But so unlikely as time ticks so low on that bomb, and he now realizes it is not going to be a round he can win. Time is gone, it's a quick shot, and he will flee.
I can't believe he even hit that shot. But yeah, in the losing effort, never steps in, preserving the AWP. So 4th round for G2. They extend play just a little bit longer. 8 rounds away from overtime. But at least they've got that first, and that's what Hunter's going to tell the boys coming into freeze time as he calls the next round.
That's a great shot from Heavy God. Did forgot one, but managed to get his crosshair and his feet planted.
Well, round 17 now. Wrinkle with the scout. And Molodoi, again aggressive, wants to put an end to this. Been spotted by that scout. Now he's known, and he's got to be really careful about his timing of when he decides to retreat.
Yep, he's just gone forward anyway. Continue to push up. Molodoi emboldened by the fact he's got Yukindar's defense alongside of him. cs2 finding another. It's a 5v3 yet again for Furia.
Yeah, and you won this last time in the 3v5 if you're G2, but it ain't gonna happen twice.
Yeah, this time it will be that end. Heavy God and Mattis at 2 versus 5. They're split up, they're not together. The difference was in the last round you could burst out with 3 plays and attack into a 3-on-2 setup, but don't have that luxury this time. Mattis makes his move into the Molodoi scope. A 13-4 win. Furia will go to the semi-finals. And in France, Furia have forgotten their manners. No mercy whatsoever in this series today. A 13-3 win on the opening map, a 13-4 on the closer. And domination as they move through to the semi-finals. And you've got to feel like whoever wins the other quarterfinal between Foot and Mouse, that Furia are the favorites there to head to the crown.
Well, they've just played so well. Yeah, you got to build up some confidence in them. You even had cs2 with his 21 kills on the first map, 3rd map coming in. Molodoi hitting the mark of 24 kills as well. You had good performances from your star players, phenomenal calling, and even in a series where you brought in 2 of your weakest maps and still able to manage it. So Furia's loving how that's worked. They love the success on Ancient, can start building up some confidence there and flushing out the map pool. And for G2, back to the drawing board with some of the improvements they're trying to make, some of the changes they're trying to institute into this team to make it work, to raise the ceiling.
I think for Furia as well, there are a lot of question marks around the team. Like, what level are they truly at? How much of it was just the fact they were on the weaker side of the bracket at the major? We have lots of questions that I'm sure we'll get the answers, but we've got cs2 down on the stage.
cs2, welcome to the top 4 here at the EWC. Parabéns por esa victoria y bienvenido na final, na semifinal here in Paris. I imagine that you must feel amazing, of course. I would like to ask you, this series was 3 maps, but it didn't really feel like a close series. There was only stomps, either from G2 or from you twice. So how did it feel? How did you guys handle that momentum? Was it a bit weird for you two as well?
It was weird as well because we played the first 3 halves. We played was 9-3, so it was crazy map pool. Also, we played Ancient and Newbies, and Dashu was crazy. I think it's first time we played Dashu 2 times in the tournament, so it was not normal, but we are very confident in all these maps now.
And it felt like a special series for the fans as well. Première question, le momentum était un peu bizarre. Il n'y a eu que des stomps sur ces 3 games, donc même si un BO3, on n'a pas eu l'impression que c'était serré. Ouais, c'était super bizarre pour nous aussi. Tous les halves, ça a été des 9-3 à chaque fois. C'était un peu étrange, mais au final, très content d'avoir gagné. On a joué Ancien, on a joué Anubis, on a joué ds2. Ça faisait très longtemps aussi qu'on n'avait pas joué des 2, mais très content de la gagner. At cs2, I'm not gonna lie, you are a CS legend. You've been starting your career with Furia, I think 8 years ago now. Some other teams were interested, but no, it has always been Furia. So can you tell me why this team, why this org, maybe with the fans, maybe with your teammates? Tell me what's so special about Furia.
I mean, Furia is in my heart. They gave the first opportunity for me in my life to grow up in Counter-Strike, go travel, play a lot of tournaments, a lot of PC because back then I don't have a computer. So I'm very happy to be in Furia, and I want to bring a major for Brazil.
They put a lot of trust in you since the beginning, and it's nice to see that you're grateful to them, and I'm sure that they're very proud of you as well. Deuxième question, tu as commencé ta carrière chez Furia il y a maintenant 8 ans. Pourquoi toujours Furia? T'es resté là? Pourquoi? Qu'est-ce qui te lie à cet orgue? Eh ben, ils ont eu confiance en moi dès le début, quand j'avais même pas de PC, quand j'avais même pas vraiment l'opportunité de jouer correctement. Ils ont cru en moi et ça m'a énormément touché. Donc je suis très content de pouvoir toujours jouer sous leur couleur, effectivement. And I mean, expectations grew with for the fans in Furia and for yourself as well after the great last year that you've had. How are you handling this? Whether it comes from the fans, but also the expectation that you put yourself. How are you handling all of that on those big stages?
Actually, we play in Brazil many times, and the crowd there is fucking amazing. So this is like home for us. So yeah, I mean, we know how to play in pressure, and this actually not a pressure for us. This is like a field, like for us. So I feel amazing. It's like playing home. So thankful for these guys and all these people cheering for us. It's amazing.
Of course, and they are amazed to have you as well, and the energy that you guys bring, whether on the server or with the fans, is absolutely amazing. Donc troisième question, pardon, il y avait des attentes depuis cette merveilleuse année 2025 que vous avez eue. Comment tu gères ça, toi, par rapport aux fans, etc. C'est un plaisir, c'est une énergie, c'est pas une pression de jouer devant un public comme ça. Au contraire, on a l'habitude de jouer au Brésil, donc forcément, on ne prend plus la pression face à des grands publics. And now it's time for us to do the EWC ritual. You're down for some key crushing?
Yeah, first time. Let's do it.
It's your first time. Let's go for it. How do you say let's go in Portuguese?
Vamos.
Vamos. Vamos. Cacerato. À Paris, la légende du Brésil, devant tous ses fans. A Furia now para, and definitely not G2 is gonna stop them in this arena. Furia in the semi-finals. And for the first one, it was pretty good, huh?
Actually, I like it.
You want to do it again? And you could get to do it again in the future in this tournament. I'm going to welcome you with your fans. We're going to go in front of them, those passionate Brazilian fans. So I want to ask you, is that thing? I love it. Last but not least, quer dizer algo para o país brasileiro que te apoia em casa, em português, em inglês, as you want.
Muito obrigado a todo mundo que tá torcendo, vocês são monstro. By the way, this song, here.
It's about you. It's a song about him, literally. Mesdames, messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, once again, make some noise for Cacerato in Paris.
Oh, Cacerato enjoying celebrating with the fans here in Paris, and a well-earned victory as well from Furia. You can definitely feel good about this one, and it does feel like there is a chance for them to go out again and get this win in the semi-finals.
Oh, it should be, absolutely. I mean, both the teams' foot or mouth is going to be at their level and going to be well within their grasp to take over, and they're going to be going into that as favorites. So they got to be looking at this like a chance for redemption at the major, right? You got to be looking at this and saying, we did this route in Cologne, made it to the grand finals, and we didn't play well in the grand finals. We got swept by Falcons, but you got to be looking at this now and be like, this is kind of a chance that we get to do it all over.
Yeah,
we got to run through this. We have a route to the grand finals that's not the most difficult in the world. If we can get there, we got a second chance to show that grand final at the major was a little bit of a fluke in the sense that we played so poorly.
No matter who you're going up against in that final, it feels like we're guaranteed at least Spirit, Falcons, or Vitality. That's going to be an S-tier opponent, one of the best teams we have in the world of Counter-Strike. So you are definitely going to get a chance at redemption. I'm sure they're wanting Falcons. I'm sure they're wanting that opportunity to prove that it wasn't that wasn't their best day. I mean, the Cologne major, I'm sure that played in their head over and over again.
Is.
That whole player break, wanting to get back those little moments, because that wasn't the best Furia we see in that final. They didn't show up at all.
No, not at all. But this is one that's looking a little bit revitalized coming back into things. We know they've had some ups and downs throughout the last season. They had to fix a lot on that path into the major. Now again, trying to find a way to kind of reinvigorate them and doing a great job. Maladoy, that performance on Dust 2 is something special. Cacerato and Ancient, something special. special. And here's the bracket we've got going on at the Esports World Cup. Furia just takes down G2 to be our first semi-finalist. Foot Mal is going to be waiting in the wings. The winner of that plays Furia. And then the lower half of the bracket, Dinko.
Yeah, Legacy Team Falcons, a game that many thought might be Na'Vi versus Falcons, but Legacy came in and absolutely stomped Na'Vi today.
Smashed them.
Yeah, continuing their strong form. We'll get to see them on the bigger stage in that game. That's going to be super exciting. And we have Team Vitality versus Team Spirit. And that is just the top of the Counter-Strike world right there. That's what we're really looking forward to seeing. Team Spirit, they've got Dog, we've got Zywoo, and they're going head-to-head here at the Esports World Cup.
Yeah, that is going to be spicy. But waiting over after the quarterfinal loss is the coach of G2, Saw, ready with an exit interview.
G2's valiant run here at EWC will be put to an end by Furia. First of all, apologies for having to do this one with you again, Saw, when it comes to this, but I need to start looking in this series and see what was going on with this veto, because it seemed like a wild one from the beginning. Was it something that surprised you?
Yeah, I think there was a couple of surprises, obviously. Mainly from their side, of course, banning Inferno and then leaving Ancient open, and then at the same time, next them picking Anubis. So surprises both ways, and not exactly what we expected in that way.
And looking at that, right, when we're seeing a veto go down that way, was it a scramble to be prepared, or did you have some ideas of what you were going to do for it, or was it completely catching you off guard?
I mean, we were somewhat prepared on Anubis, but then again on Ancient not so much, because generally they ban it against everyone who is playing it. They have floated it against Vitality and then Aurora, I think mainly, but yeah, now they caught us off guard in a bit. And I would say it's more on us, to be honest. To lose it in that way, it's totally on us, and we should have done better.
Getting the bounce back on the second map is certainly positive, though. But I want to talk about your Dust 2, because there was a time where we could rely on G2's Dust 2, right? And in recent time, it's not looking like that. Can you pinpoint what is happening? Have you been able to maybe drop some things down over this tournament and say, okay, this has got to change?
Well, even looking more in the past, it's been mainly against the top teams on Dust 2. It's been a lot of close scores, when you look at it against Na'Vi, Spirit, even before that. But obviously today against Furia it was a total drop-off. But then again, when you look at the rounds, it was B rushes, long take into B hit later. It was in a way gimmicky rounds that caught us off guard. But again, something on us, something to be ready on. But I would say some of the basics where we need to be just better.
Looking at that, just tell me where you think the team is at right now. What needs to happen in order to actually get the improvements you want and start being a title contender?
I mean, just playing more of these officials and getting into the season, because it was many sloppy mistakes. I think especially today's match, we are already quite deep into the playoffs, and this is the level of CS you see. It's not exactly, well, I don't know, promising. But then on the other hand, you have so many tournaments ahead of us. We will have a couple more just directly after this one. So there will be a lot to play and a lot for us to improve. We just need to take a look of these things. And it's a lot of the basics, like I said. For example, first map Ancient, it was a lot about just communication and hitting our strats, which in the end is basics. It's completely up to us and something we can completely fix. So.
Sounds very positive in what you can fix going forward. So thank you very much for your time. Sad to see you go. But as I said earlier, that's it for G2 here at the EWC.
Yeah, great to hear from Saw, hear his thoughts on what went wrong today. Obviously being surprised by the veto, as everyone was, I think, coming into that. So
sure.
Worked out to play in Furia's favor.
Yeah, I mean, a cool little trick to be able to bring in. I really like when teams are able to do that. Kerrigan's kind of the lone guy we got. I feel willing to take those risks from time to time. So cool to see Furia do it here. It pays off now in the future, maybe not. Either way, we got plenty more Counter-Strike going on at the Esports World Cup. We're going to bring up the schedule for tomorrow because we got the rest of the quarterfinals coming in. Foot versus Mal is going to be that first quarterfinal of the day. Legacy Falcons is next. In Vitality versus Team Spirit.
Clear schedule, nice evening game coming in. It's going to be 10 minutes to 7, CEST, perfect time. Get your dinner in and get ready for Team Vitality versus Team Spirit to round out the day. I think every single one of those games has a lot of reasons to be interested, because Foot versus Malice is a really cool matchup. It's a rematch, and we'll see if Malice can get it done,
Yeah, I like Legacy and Falcons as well. For me, it's interesting, but that's more of a barometer of where's Legacy at, right? They had that barometer against FaZe where they got trounced earlier in the event. Now they get another one here against Falcons.
Seeing these guys have been everywhere. Jason doing the 6-7. We have to do that to close the show, to close the day.
Can we synchronize it?
No. we are incapable of doing
we
so.
go.
We're on a
There we
delay,
go.
Jason.
There we
All
go.
right.
There we
Well, the
go.
Esports World Cup comes to a close for yet another day. We're going to be coming back with all the semi-final action, the quarterfinals, of course, tomorrow. But I'm looking forward to it, and so should you be. Esports World Cup continues tomorrow.
Flamesy overlooked for now. Zyru audible middle. There's Flamesy. Not just one, not just two. It's 3 out of Flamesy. A 4th on the floor.
Oh my god, bro. The throttle, bro. Insane.
Welcome to the EWC Spotlight. And just like that, the spotlight disappears. Wait a second, because the Spotlight show has started. I'm Amelie, and we have two very special people joining us today. We got Glitter Explosion once again and Machine.
Hello.
I got a question for you. And Glitter, I want you to weigh in on this. Is it like Counter-Strike 2 dress code that they all have to wear all black? Ooh. Like what? Banks did the same thing yesterday. Right?
Okay, I see. Well, it actually, unironically, my casting partner and I, Sponge, we have given ourselves a dress code.
Oh.
We just decided, like, yo, no one gets upset when we just rock up in black. All black, no one can complain. You know, they send you a PDF, like, not this color. Black's always cool. It's always cool. It's a safe bet.
He's not wrong.
No,
and it is flattering for being on camera.
It is, and as a sweaty man, I need all the help I can get. You know, no sweat patches in black. Respect.
I hear. But also, girl, you always have, like, you had geese or ducks yesterday. You got puppies today,
yeah, you know?
Love
We're
it.
having a little bit of fun with it. We're listen, I'm on the Fortnite stage. We're keeping it fun.
All right, well, let's talk about some different puppies. The puppies over at the STC Arena, because we had some CS2 going on. And what did we see, Machine?
Oh, man, I thought the puppies were these shoes you're rocking. These are great. I think, honestly, my gran has been looking for a new pair.
It's crazy, Alex.
I'm sorry. It's kind of giving gym chic. Counter-Strike, yes, good question. So, to recap, we're round of 16, which is a little unusual. Normally, we do like 8-team playoffs. This is a bit larger than we're used to outside of the majors, so it's cool to see more teams in the playoffs. I do air quotes just because, I don't know, pre-quarterfinals, it can feel like it's, you know, maybe more of a proving ground than it is the big dogs. And the big dogs have been eating. As far as, you know, your kind of underdogs and your familiar faces, oh, there go all my notes. But, you know, it's kind of a story of three as far as the top is concerned. The podium expectations are like Falcons, Spirit, Vitality. Those are your big dogs. and everyone's doing well. Everyone's winning their games.
What have you been most excited to see for this tournament, though?
Ooh, good question. I mean, one would actually be just these kind of very clearly defined fans. You know, for Vitality and Furia, we have the drums, we have the chants. Earlier today, we had Vitality. It was so cool to just hear the ups and downs they were going. It turned into a library when Vitality lost a clutch. It was a French guy winning 1v3s and dead silence. Dead silence. So there are some dedicated fans throughout for Counter-Strike. That's probably a highlight for me. I think the second biggest highlight is the upset of the tournament, which was Na'Vi bombing out. Well, I don't know what happened. Can't explain it. Legacy smashed them. 13-2. 13-2, that's not even a fight. Coach Blade afterwards said something like, if you play like that, you're never gonna win. But that's just kind of how he rolls. It's cutthroat.
I was gonna say, I feel a little bit self-conscious, so I feel like I'm just...
Look what you've done.
The
shoes are off.
What's wrong with them?
Because you
It's good for your lumbar support or something.
This is
bullied me
dedication.
for the last time, so now I'm sockless.
Whoa, socks out for free. That's the spotlight guarantee.
Coordinates. It all matches.
But also, it helps me go fast because we have to go fast when we talk about our next game over at the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet stage. How fast are we going in Trackmania?
That was an amazing transition.
Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast.
That was an amazing transition, okay? But let's talk about Trackmania. Last time we spoke, we were a little bit concerned about where Muda was going to be, dropping down into that lower bracket. Didn't need to be worried. Absolutely smashed it. Able to stay alive in the competition for now, but some other standout clubs or moments that we need to talk about is the fact that Carl Jr. Falcons, of course, the 7-time world champion, now qualified through to top 8 alongside Binks for AGAL. And, you know, we've been keeping tabs on both of these clubs.
We're watching.
So Trackmania is going to be a big decider, I think, when it comes to seeing how everything kind of shakes out.
Yeah, I was also surprised we were talking about fans to see some of the Trackmania fans and how loud and rowdy they get too. I think that, I mean, Glitter, you've been here just as long as I have. I feel like we haven't really had too many disappointing crowds.
No, it's been amazing. I think that's like, you know, what's been so wonderful about being in Paris is that new set of people coming through and crushing it.
Oh, 100%. But let's go ahead and talk about the Qiddiya City Grid stage where we have some Fortnite. I love all the Fortnite casters. I'm so glad to see them all backstage and everything. But we got to talk about some of the games.
Okay, a little bit of an unexpected finish out of Group B, to say the least. AGAL was supposed to be at least at the tippy top, maybe top 4 if they were a little bit slow. They didn't make it into top 7, period. They are not straight through to finals, which means they do still have one more opportunity in the survival stage to get a spot in finals. But this is a big surprise out of AGAL, specifically in Fortnite, which means they also had Twisted Minds and Furia in that lobby with them as well, and they did do well.
But you're saying that there is still a chance.
There's one final chance.
One small chance, because again, we'll talk about it a little bit at the end with the club championship potential there, but they are gonna want to take that one final chance. And finally, over on the Allianz Vault stage, we have a little bit of Crossfire.
And I don't know what is in the water, but defending champs AGAL and Crossfire out.
What?
Absolutely out of the competition.
No.
Falcons out of the competition. And Crossfire was supposed to be a place where AGAL could guarantee themselves some club championship points. That is not happening anymore. They did make it to top 8, but that's not going to be enough to leapfrog anybody on the leaderboard. And we were looking at some statistics. That means that AGAL are now down to like an 11% chance of winning CC. It's not looking so great.
Oh dear.
Ooh, okay, well, you know what? We do have a question for everyone who is watching in the chat right now. Who do you think will make it to the top 3 of the club championships? Do you have any guesses, Machine? Who do you think? Well,
you know, I'm no expert, but I would hazard a guess. It might be between Falcons. I looked at a while ago. Falcons, Vitality, I believe, were around there. Na'Vi bombed out, so no longer them. I know AGAL, we were counting on them, but Crossfire, no Crossfire might be a problem.
It's definitely
You had the percentage, it's not pretty.
Yeah.
All right, well, we could take a look at our club championship rankings as they are right now. And look, hey, you said Falcons. Look at them up at the tippity top. AGAL right underneath them, and Vitality not, well, I was going to say not far behind, but that is a pretty big number jump there.
It's definitely a big number jump, but I am glad that you shouted Vitality out, because a win is 1,000 points. If they get it, they're back in that discussion, right? And by doing so, they would also then deny those other clubs those points. And their placement in CS has now guaranteed them that top 3. They weren't 4th. They leave Frognavi.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking good for Falcons to make a deep run. They just won the Cologne Major in Counter-Strike, so hot prospects for the trophy lift in the Counter-Strike tournament as well.
Okay.
They're up against Legacy. It's going to be an interesting one. Those Brazilians pack a punch, though.
Anyone else that we should be keeping an eye on as we get closer to the end of week 7 and also the end of the EWC glitter?
I mean, even if we're not looking at the top side, we need to be looking at the teams that are at least getting some points on the board, because it's going to be changing the pricing at the end of the day. So we're still looking at the Furias. We're still looking at Twisted Minds. Any of these clubs that can change their ranking will guarantee a little bit more pricing.
I've been told that we have no answers for our questions.
Everyone's asking me to take my feet out.
Everyone's asking.
Everyone's saying, machine, no. Oh, I've given myself a cramp. I'm an old man.
I'm going to point out that at least his socks are also black.
Yeah,
They
also.
are also black.
Consistent. That's what I'm one thing, I'm consistent.
And you know what? We love that for you, and we love that for all the CS2 fans. But before we wrap this up and let you go, is there anything else that you want to say besides maybe some mentions of the feats?
Yes, if you have any questions about K-dramas and which ones you should check out and in what order you should check them out, and you want a little synopsis, I'd like to recommend these two, Overly and Glitter. We had a fantastic chat before we went live, and I've got a couple of things on the watch list. Right? Night and day. One worth checking out if you're interested. But yeah, direct your questions. Ideally, the chat, you could stop talking about her feet for 5 seconds and focus on your favorite K-drama. That's my question to the chat. What's your favorite K-drama? Mine's Attack on Titan.
All right, okay.
That's a whole
we got to
different
get him out. We got to get him out. I don't know who let him up here. He will not be invited back again. But, Machine Glitter, thanks
for
so
having
much
me.
For joining. Yeah, I didn't make this request. Who let you up?
I don't know. I forced myself over here.
We have one answer is what I'm being told. Let's go ahead and see what the final... I need 20 more minutes for the emblem.
Okay. So should we just do a 20-minute podcast about K-dramas?
Go, or like, should we can hang out maybe?
So the emblem.
All right. Okay. So what was your favorite K-drama?
Like I told you, I mean, Crash Landing on You was like my foray into it.
Okay.
So it might just have to.
Would you say that's a good start for like an ignorant guy?
Yeah.
Just jumping straight in.
If you're ready emotionally.
I think I'm ready emotionally.
No spoiler alert. There's like a car chase on a motorcycle and explosions. There's like all of these crazy political plots. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. But I'm being told that if I keep talking about this, I won't have a job anymore. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for watching the EWC Spotlight, and we will see you next time. It's good though.
Yeah, I'll check it.
It's really good.
Legit. I'm gonna put my shoes back on.
I lost mine. Mine are gone.
Who needs those?
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
We